Hey fan, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be another all signs tarot reading. So don't worry if you're not a Virgo. It's okay. I just want to chill. Let's just hang for a minute and see what kind of messaging we shall receive this round. The messaging on this channel, that the vibe I like to enjoy, tends to be very encouraging. Sometimes, if something's gonna apparently need to be said, then it gets said. But, for the most part, I really enjoy encouragement and sharing positive vibes. So let's see what we can get into today. Okie dokie, I'm going to go ahead and cut the decks with you. I've already pre-shuffled, and we're going to begin with the archetypes. If you're new here, my name is Amy. Hello. So nice to meet you. If you're returning, hi. Thanks. I appreciate you. All right. I appreciate all of you, quite frankly. Let's be real. Starting with card number 1. The Castle. Okay. The vibe that I'm getting this time seeing this card is kind of similar to the Village, right? Where there's somewhere you've been living. And even though you don't want to be there anymore, it's what you know, right? So you've created some form of comfort within it, right? The rest of the castle walls may be cold and hard, but you have like your little corner. Your room is cozy, right? You've painted it the way you like, or better than it was anyway. You have your tapestries and all that groovy shit, right? But it's time to go. It's time to get out of these castle walls and be barefoot in the grass for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm feeling, like walking barefoot in beautiful spring grass. Like when it's that first beautiful day of the year, winter is officially over. Like, that's what I'm feeling. Up here in the northern hemisphere, at the time of filming this, we're still in Sagittarius season, right? It's still winter, but it feels like someone is really ready for spring. And I think you know that you possess that power to choose when that begins for you. It's just so cozy, right? And maybe, there's been one thing after another, but those things still don't mean that you need to stay there. And I think you know that. I'm just confirming for you, right? That it's time to move. And I have a feeling that if you don't... What is this thing on my thing? Okay. I have a feeling that you recently figured out where to go. And some may have even been surprised. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. I bet you will. Or we're going to move on to something else, and that'll make sense. Whatever it is. But I feel like someone has been living somewhere they really haven't belonged. That they didn't want to be, but they needed to be for whatever reasons. And they've been making it work, right? The problem that I'm having with this vibe is too much of that work has been self-sacrifice. And we're leaving that portion of the program, okay? We're leaving that way of living. A lot of this, the recent months have been so transformative, so healing. And it's been longer than that, but most recently has really been ramping it up, right? So just make sure you're not the one holding yourself back. No one should be holding you back, especially not you. And most of the time, we are the only ones who can. I mean, this is our lives, right? Especially once we're old enough to move out on our own, whatever your culture may allow, enable. I mean, not so much allow, right? But it's time to go. It's time to get out from those cold castle walls and figure out what your whole home, because I feel very much so like living with others and like it being their home. Like maybe you've been taking care of your parents or, things like that. You've been fulfilling responsibilities that maybe they just don't need to be your responsibilities, right? Maybe somebody else really can do it just fine, and it's time to delegate. Or whatever that looks like for you, right? It's time to move on and have your own home, whatever that looks like. It's time to figure out what that looks like and get out of your own way, okay? It's time to move on. Whether that's feeling grass between your toes or not, sand, shit, I don't know. Now time for the oracle cards. Wow, it just, oh, 2, okay. Oh, you never needed those wings to fly, and endings are inevitable. I've been saying a lot in my daily life, just living, that, you know, people don't have to die for things to end, for people to move on, right? Because I really feel like I'm not the only one taking care of my mother, right? And it's not, this hasn't been, for me, the healthiest relationship. It's been a lot of struggle and a lot of growth. And this channel, I tend to draw in my kindred souls. So, hello. You're really not alone. That means neither am I, so thanks. I appreciate it. It seems like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of self-doubt and self-criticism. When you tell yourself you can't do whatever you set your mind to, that's what we refer to as a negative self-talk, and it's extremely toxic. Just as we expect others to treat us with kindness, we also need to treat ourselves with kindness. A bird can't fly away if you never let it out of its cage. Boom, there we go. Thank you. I'm glad I followed the urge to check the book. That's what I'm talking about. It's time to get the heck out of the cage. And maybe you feel like no one can handle these things as well as you. Okay, first of all, people can handle things pretty darn well. You may have your own way of doing things, but that doesn't mean that somebody else can't take care of this person or handle the situation. Whatever it is that you feel so tied to and responsible for, right? There are people that make a living taking care of our parents, and they do it well, you know? Maybe you're trying to debate whether it's time for your parent or parents to go to a community where, you know, they're surrounded by their peers, but not all of those communities are bad, fam. And if you're worried about money, why? We've talked about manifestation a lot on this channel. Alchemy, Neville Goddard, and the law of assumption. Right? What money don't you have? We're building, right? We're building, we're going beyond the castle walls and these limiting beliefs that we've been stuck in. And it's just, it's an odd transition. It doesn't have to be difficult, but it's still a transition, right? Whatever it may be, it's still going to, you know, it's like the difference between sea and land legs, right? So even if you're discombobulated a bit, even if you're, you know, like growth spurts, right? Sometimes it can be painful for your body, but it doesn't have to be bad. Change doesn't have to be bad. It's all about perspective, right? And how we look at ourselves and we look at our lives, and we, like, that's part of the alchemy, these relationships and these thought patterns. That's absolutely a part of it. So you just keep going. Keep going. The unknown can be scary. Keep going. This is meant to happen. You want this. What does that sound? Maybe it's the wind. There's weird sounds happening over here on my end right now. I don't know if you're picking up on any of them. I do have a kitty over here, you know, doing a cat bath, but there's some weird sounds tonight. It's like almost 4 a.m. last I checked. Hi, it's the middle of the night for me. How you doing? So with the tarot, I like to think of this as an actual story, and each card representing a chapter of the story. And the bottom of the deck, to me, is usually the general vibe of the reading. If it's a pocket paperback book, that would be the blurb on the back to kind of give you a bit of a gist of what's going on, right? What's chapter 1? Interesting. This round, I'm not so much feeling like apathy. I'm feeling fear of missing out, right? So focused on what we think we're supposed to be doing and getting those ducks in a row that we completely miss out on what's going on and what we're supposed to be doing, what's meant for us. Fam, whatever's meant for you is going to find you as long as you're open to it. As long as you're willing to receive. Your path is always the right path. As long as you're open to receive, right? As long as you understand that you have every right to leave this toxic, unhealthy environment that you've been living in. As long as you are open to not only just be sitting in the grass in this beautiful day, but to be enjoying it. Letting your hair down, taking off your shoes, whatever that means for you, whatever it looks like for you. I'm not really one for Birkenstocks, but I like my flippies, right? It's like, it's different for everyone, and it's okay for you to have your own groove, your own vibe and such. Like, this feels like I want to hug you. I want to remind you that it's okay. You're okay. Right? It's okay if you're not a hugger. I can respect that. Like, what's the equivalent? What can we do? Right? It's okay if all this newness and these new vibes and this healing, it's okay if you're unsure of what's going on. Because you're never alone. You have beings that are surrounding you always that are there to help. You're the MVP. You're the quarterback. Wow, it just started pouring rain. So whether it's spirit guides, angels, or ancestors, like, I'm just feeling like there are those who are waiting for you to put them in, coach, right? How can we help you? What will you accept? How can we get you to see how special you really are? What's chapter 2? That is the vibe of let it go. Your old ways of doing things. I don't necessarily mean that you got to change your whole wardrobe and stuff like that, right? There's the change that I'm referring to is what you want, the manifestations, you know, right? For those who have been like, when is this going to happen? It's happening. It's already happening. And it happens as you allow it to happen. So kind of think of this as like if you're a reptile or even so many animals molt. They shed. We shed hair. We shed skin flakes, right? Shed away, baby. Shed away. Let it go. It no longer serves. It did, you know, like the things that we've experienced within these particular castle walls are now officially in the past. That portion of life happened as it was meant to. The unfortunates, the joys, the awe, the sadness, all of it. Right? We've learned from it, and we're taking that wisdom with us, but we're not taking the bullshit with us. It stays in the past. 2 seconds ago is officially already the past, right? Oh yeah, chapter 3. Boosh. We keep seeing the freaking Hierophant, man. What is going on here? I feel like there's something we haven't quite been getting. We haven't been realizing how inspirational you yourself can be. The things that you've experienced, you don't get to dictate how others react, how they hear you, right? So how can you know whether or not you're inspiring people? Because it's better to be inspired than to compare, right? Maybe there's some limiting beliefs still going on. And this has been this card has been trying to filter that out, trying to help you work on what they can mean for you now, right? Reading the power of awareness, if you're raised any kind of Christian, can seem blasphemous. Neville Goddard, I'm pretty sure at one of the points in one of his books, I have the one that's like the whole collection, will say like this can feel blasphemous for people, because when you're reading that the Bible is just meant to be this like, oh man, I'm forgetting the word, but it starts with a P, not psychological. Is this psychological? Trauma? Or whatever the heck, right? Not literal people that existed at some point, because Christ is within us. God is within us. We are the gods of our reality. Our minds control our reality. And that can be a bit difficult to shake off, right? And figure out what that means for you. Because either way, part of being human is that separation anxiety of it all, right? Being apart from God, being away from God. That's what tends to throw us off. It is, wow. It's raining pretty good right about now. Can you hear that? Here we go, fam. But we're not separated. We've never been separated. Not if you believe that we're divine beings in living a human existence, that we are a part of God, every single one of us, experiencing Earth and the uncertainty of it all. But we have everything that we need here on this earth with these biological bodies. We're meant to be curious. We're meant to want to know how things work. What are the components that can heal a migraine, that we can paint with? How do we amplify our voices and sing, right? We're meant to be curious. We're meant to be in this together and help one another, right? I like the idea of helping others figure out that they can save themselves, that we can save ourselves. We can really make our lives whatever we choose it to be. Other people are doing their things, and sometimes we do got to deal with that, but how we handle it and what we do is under our control. Right? What's chapter 4? Damn. This card keeps coming up too, doesn't it? Of course it does, because we're doing the thing. No matter what, we're doing the thing. Wow, look at this progression, actually. Sitting there going, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? What do you want from me, right? I thought I was doing the things, and yet, but it's a process, right? Sea legs, land legs. Whichever ones are necessary in this moment. Adapting can take a moment sometimes. Like if we want to stay on the esoteric route, right? What if all of this learning that we really are able to heal and live the life we want, and our mind controls everything, including our bodies, right? That's going to take some adjusting. But we're not alone in this. We have the divine universe helping us out, whatever that means for you. Right? And letting go of the old ways, letting go of any apathy that may have been there. Look at this being here in the Hierophant. And we have a golden sun rising. Or is it sunset? Wait a minute. That's the 2 pillars, fam. Not like those, but like justice. And that path that's in, I never noticed that before. I always just noticed the sun. The moon card. Right? How it has the 2 pillars in the distance. Fam. Oh. It felt so in the dark before. Just kind of, you know, rambling along, having no idea because whoop, this is what we're told, right? But now we're figuring it out for ourselves. And that enlightenment is enabling all of our hopes and dreams and manifestations to come about. We just have some things that we still need to let go of, that we're still working through, and that's okay. As long as we keep moving forward. And remember that endings are beginnings. What's going to come up underneath the 4 of Cups? The freaking Magician, fam. Heck yeah. Those are very particular major arcana. Let's go ahead and create that thumbnail together, fam. Here we go. Red? Yeah, let's do the red. Wow. These are very particular major arcana coming out to play. In such interesting order. Sometimes the bottom shows us what has enabled. Right? And sometimes they're each individually connected so well. It's pretty wild. I love the way this turns out. So what? Fam, this is our journey being represented right up in our faces, isn't it? You have come so far. Let's take a moment and enjoy that fact. Alchemy is occurring in our lives. So much is changing. And it's time to enjoy the ride, fam. It is time to enjoy the ride. Enjoy that white horse of fairy tales, fam. And enjoy the ride. Because you are enabling everything you've ever wanted, you've ever looked forward to. If you're not looking forward to tomorrow and the rest of today, fam, this is your coaxing to do so, okay? What's going to come up underneath the death card? What did I say? Holy shitballs, Batman. I was talking about the dang pillars. Looky. Heck yeah, fam. Oh. I wish you a good day and a good night. Listen, so much gets illuminated, right? We just had a beautiful full moon, right? So much gets illuminated, and yet the rest is meant to be faith, right? I mean, faith in ourselves, because we know what the heck we're doing now, right? We know what we've been retraining our subconsciouses. We've been using affirmations, meditations, all this groovy stuff. I've had some readings recently where I may have sounded very, very low vibe, but quite frankly, it's just because I've been meditating a lot. So sometimes I'm just super duper Virgo and chill. You know what I mean? This This card itself is showing how far we've come. We are no longer this lobster, this crawdad coming from the ooze, you know? It's been a long road reaching this point, and okay, we can come out of survival mode, right? We can enjoy life now. Life may still life at times. It's always going to rain at some point, but what is that? Cleansing. The earth needs it. We need it. Whether we're taking a shower or enjoying a swim, whatever, it's pouring down rain in the Pacific Northwest. Whatever it may be, right? Wow, this reading is incredible, fam. Oh, it's been so much, but it just keeps getting better and better and better. And we allow it to, right? We want it to. What's going to come up underneath the Hierophant? Jeez Louise, this reading is mostly freaking major arcana. The King of Cups. Oh, that's a good pairing right there. It's not just the mind, but it's also not just the soul. It's also the heart, right? It's really interesting being able to be secure within oneself. To know that even when I'm unsure of what the heck's going on and what I should be doing right now, I'm sure of myself. I know what I'm capable of. And I know I can handle it. I've had to in the past. And if the worst is behind us, fam, then shit. Right? Because even if we have all the money in the world, that in and of itself doesn't mean we're happy. It means there are worries and stresses that we don't have on our shoulders. But there are also a lot of people out there who, for some reason, love to rip people off. Right? That doesn't mean that there has to be a whole host of worries and fears for this section of life. It just means life is always going to life, but you can always be okay. You can always work through it. You can honor your feelings, honor your soul, honor yourself. Honor life and how exquisite life can be. The earth can be. Connections with others really can be. Right? Because that's what we want. Whether you want the honey and the 2.5 kids, or you just want your own kind of family. People you know you can trust. People you know who are matching your vibe and love you unconditionally as you love them. Right? What's coming up underneath that 10 of Cups? The 6 of freaking Wands. 4, 5, 6. Now I'm just marveling at the cards. I'm just in awe of this reading. This is such a beautiful freaking reading. I will go ahead and point out that once again we're seeing a white horse. It's still ours. And this is the woo, we did it portion of the program. Which, these vibes, look at how they lined up again. Fucking A, I love tarot. This is so cool. Anyway. You may not need the praise. It may be nice because you've been working on this. You've been doing all of this, right? And now people are catching up. You're surrounded by love. And you always will be. Your life has changed so much. Once we get out of our own way, the possibilities really are endless, because then what is the phrase? Dream bigger. Now that you got what you want, you can dream bigger. Always dream bigger. Figure out what that means for you. It doesn't have to be material possessions. It doesn't have to be the house in Calabasas. Dream bigger. Oh, there was just almost like this push. I thought a cat jumped up on the bed behind me. Jeez Louise, what's the epilogue, fam? Holy shitballs, fam. What? Karma! Resurrection, reborn, fucking boosh. Sorry for my language if you don't like that. My goodness gracious. We've been seeing that card a whole heck of a lot too, haven't we? Certainly have on this channel. Goodness gracious. If you don't know what tune, I tend to do the little Final Fantasy, like, yay, you did it kind of song. It's a video game series. Popular enough, and people love the soundtracks enough, that an orchestra tours the earth performing the music from this series. I have a soft spot for the 13 series. I know most people don't, but that's okay. I got it covered. You're good. You know what I mean? My girl Lightning. That third game was so fan servicey. Whatever, moving on. Because you did it. You've made it to this point, and now it's time to live. You've learned so much. You have felt so much. Experienced. Had your apathy and your fuck this, right? The why portion, that's back there too, right on in the past. This is a whole new life. All this change can make things feel a bit off, feel a bit weird and stuff, right? Just keep going, fam. Oh my goodness, it's like my blood sugar just dropped. What's on the bottom of this? Woo! Boosh. Choices made. I've been referring to this two, I don't know if you can see it over there, this Two of Swords card most recently as the Never Again card. Just make sure you're not closing yourself off, right? That was a bit of the little advice to heed in the beginning, right? Don't close yourself off from the things you long for. Stop longing. Start living. We're going with never again. That negative self-talk, the accepting of bullshit. You don't deserve it. You never deserved it, and you certainly don't now. We're moving on. The past is the past. Clean slate. That's what this Judgment card is. Clean slate. And you, yourself, have enabled this to happen. This is all heading in the right direction because you are finally making that choice. Because I put it that way because I think some are still kind of dwelling a wee bit, right? Even not choosing is a choice. It's a choice of, apparently, I want to stay in this bullshit. No, you don't. You most certainly don't. Never again. What are the extra notes for this one? I can see what this is. That's badass. Oh, fam. Ooh, we got an Aries card again. Hello, Aries. What's going on? Oh, my goodness, fam. I can't not do this one. Hashtag soon. Or, yeah, soon. Crossroads Demon, listen. I don't care what you did. I don't care what makes you think you deserve to be stuck and in that position. No. Clean slate. Let it go. Let yourself live again, fam. Okay? If you don't know what Crossroads Demon is, it became really popular because of the show Supernatural. But there's this idea of a particular blues artist who may have sold his soul to the devil in order to be such an incredible guitarist and blues artist. But when you sell your soul to the devil, you get like, what, 10 years is the story, the idea? And at some point, the devil's going to collect, right? Somebody feels as though they made a choice in the past that's no backseas. You just got to lie in it. And the thing about the rest of this reading is, but you've moved past that. You want more. You want a life that you can enjoy. You want that 10 of Cups. You're being told you can have it. Stop suffering whatever consequences they are. Are you sitting in prison? Your own prison, either way. It's time to get out of those cement walls, those walls made of rocks that are meant to confine. Let it go. And enjoy that rebirth. Fam, can we enjoy these freaking major arcana? Let's check them out. Those are incredible major arcana. Rebirth, fam. Resurrection. You've paid your dues. You've done your time. And now it's time to live the life you want. Your mind controls your life. So whether it's through affirmations and meditation and, and whatnot, whatever it is that works for you to get you to speak kindly to yourself and to enable, you know what? I really, really, really recommend. I just got it from the library. Let me cover this stuff so you can't see. I don't want to dox myself. That would be silly on YouTube. It's Shaman Durek. I love him. He does have a YouTube channel, so you're already in the right spot. Meditations and all kinds of information. There's so many interviews with him on YouTube, and I am that far of the way into it. And I can tell you most of it is all right there on YouTube for free. If you have access to YouTube to watch this video, you can watch his videos. Highly recommend. Highly, highly recommend. Look at things through the eyes of love. Look at your life and yourself through the eyes of love. I love providing a life of luxury for my family is one that Charlene taught me. I like that one. I use it a lot, actually. Highly recommend. That is, Charlene is another tarot reader on YouTube. If you haven't found her yet on your own, I'll include a link to her channel in the description box. You should know that that's going down. I love my life. I love this healthy body of mine. I love the way my mind works. I love that my life keeps getting better and better and better and better. That should be my thumbnail, huh, fam? Right the frig there. Oh, fam, I'm so happy. This is incredible. What an incredible message from our guides this round, fam. Oh. Thank you so much for joining me, especially if you've made it this far into the whole darn reading. I really appreciate it. And always remember that I love you.